So, hi to all my little black lights. Black lights like, the purple black lights or red lights, because, and you get down like that, and blue lights and green lights and pink lights and purple lights and Halloween lights and Hanukkah lights and Kwanzaa lights and Easter lights and all types of other lights. Like, I don't know, like, I was just sitting there looking up, like, what kind of light is there? Because I'm just looking up at, like, the light, which is Ra, and I'm just like, hey, Ra, what kind of other lights are there? Like, what kind of other light beings are there, And so Ra was just like, pretty much is all types of any creatures and beings. And I was like, okay, cool, deuces. So anyhow, so I was kind of sitting here thinking about it, right? Like, I'm stoned. I'm always stoned. So, I was kind of wondering, like, when I was going through and I was growing up, right, like, it was kind of weird because my mom was really weirded out about me having abilities. Like, she was weirded out about me being able to, like, see, like, dead people. She was weirded out about me, like, maybe seeing things in the future. She was weird about me, like, just knowing shit before knowing shit, And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what, can other people not do this shit? Like, what the, and so, like, no, I guess not. So, I don't know. I got, like, baptized, like, 5 times, y'all. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember, like, all the places. That would be really amazing or interesting to find out, like, all the places that I got baptized, because it's, like, hella weird, like, what she did. And it's just something, like, epic. Like, if people turn around and found out, like, I was baptized, like, more than once, like, they would be like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, no, it's just, so, it's weird. So anyhow, so because of that, like, whole traumatizing deal, like, of course, like, my mom being Baptist, she was like, oh no, like, you can't be sitting here, like, telling the future and shit. Like, no, that's, like, only God is allowed to do that. And I'm like, no, what the fuck do you mean? No. So she, like, it got to a point where, like, I had to sit there and I had to, like, do stuff, and I had to pretty much just put blocks on my abilities. Nowadays, I'm just like, fuck it, that shit just, like, boom, blows up and fucks people up. It's amazing. So, I just kind of wonder, like, when I realized that my mom was pretty much rejecting the things that I did, I kind of went a different route. And so I went through magic, like, I went through, like, the whole, like, going through and spell casting and whatever, and, like, worshiping, like, well, not the devil, that's kind of, yeah, but I did learn some stuff with a satanic group. Oh my goodness, like, I will turn around and I will expose so much shit, like, it's just crazy. Anyhow, so yeah, but my whole thing is trying to figure out what I am and what I can do as far as abilities and stuff, and how it actually translates into, like, regular life has been just, like, completely weird. It's just, how do you sit down and explain to people, like, hey, I just kind of know shit, like, and then, in a sense, it's just, like, I feel like everybody should be able to do this, and yet a lot of people don't, and I just don't really understand. I'm really trying my hardest to figure out why it is that I sit down and I can do things, and, there are other special few that can do things too, but it's just, like, how is it that we do that, Like, how is it that any of that even works, So, I kind of hope that this does end up reaching people that it really needs to, and that maybe I can sit down and help others as well, because I know there has to be other people out there. And the reason why I even turn around and I talk about, like, people being dark lights or different colored lights and stuff, because, like, I figure out, like, this. I've got family members that I just really can care less about, and like, the more of you fuckers that die, the better I kind of feel like, so I can't even sit down and I can't even, like, act like a certain way, and it's kind of sad, because it kind of sucks. Like, my mother, even though she sat down and she did baptize me, like, hella times because she thought I was, like, channeling, like, the devil or some bullshit, like, she came after she died, and she helped me to actually start opening up, like, different blockages that I had because of her. And it's kind of, like, fucking weird. Like, how do I even sit down and describe this to people, Like, to know that someone that I knew, my own mother, like, and the way that she raised me before she died, and then a few years after that, like, I don't know how it works over there in the astrals and stuff, but she came back just so she could help me to, like, open shit up that she messed up on. Like, that was her way of, like, repentance and shit. And like, nowadays in my life, I just sit here and I'm like, whoa, like, because for some reason we all like act like shit doesn't really happen and shit doesn't go on, and yet for people like me, I'm just like, I walk in that shit all the time. And I mean, some people sit down and they say that it's a fucking curse, and then some people say that it's a fucking blessing, but it's just balance. Like, it is what it is. And the only thing that I can think of is how do I turn around and give it to you? How do I show it to you? How do you develop it? How does this go? You know, like, I don't know. But I don't know. All right. Sorry, Miss Eclectic got a little bit too deep for our own motherfucking self. So I do love you, and peace.